Ladies and gentlemen, United Way of West Central Connecticut welcomes you to the 17th Annual Community Builders Reception. Please welcome Donna Osage, President and CPO of United Way of West Central Connecticut.
Good evening, everyone. Can you hear me? Good evening. Thank you so much for coming out tonight. We are so grateful that you are here at our 17th Annual Community Builders Reception. Before we get started, we have a number of public officials who have joined us this evening. I'm happy to announce that State Senator Henry Martin, State Representatives Kara Pavlak-Jamato, Whit Betts, and Bill Pettit are here, or at least they're supposed to be here. I haven't seen all of them exactly, to be honest with you. Representing the city of Bristol this evening are Mayor Ellen Zappo-Sasu, and I believe the entire city council is here tonight. And let me name them because that's important. So Mary Fortier, Gregory Hahn, Peter Kelly, David Mills, Dave Proleski, and Scott Rosato are spread out a little bit. We also have with us Plainville's Town Manager Robert Lee. And if someone else stuck in, I'm sorry. Welcome. So our Community Builders Reception is our opportunity to honor all of you who are truly living united, making our communities better places to live and work. It is our opportunity to thank those of you, especially our honorees tonight, who are living united, giving back to their communities every day. I know most of you do that as well. United Way fights for the health, education, and financial stability of every person in West Central Connecticut. And that includes Bristol, Burlington, Plainville, Plymouth, and Terryville. You are helping us win that fight by supporting our annual campaign and our events like this tonight. Our community initiatives and our partners are also fighting for the health, education, and financial stability of everyone in our community. And many of our community partners are here tonight, and we'll be highlighting a couple of videos that show the work that we're doing. I would like to, oh shoot, I forgot. Sorry. So I want to highlight our sponsors. Without, this night would not be, we wouldn't be able to do this without our sponsors, right? Our generous sponsor. So, on your table time cards are premier sponsors. Very special thanks to Barnes Group and Webster Bank. They are incredible supporters of our community. Most of you know that already, but we're really very, very grateful for the support for this night. Our platinum sponsors, the Bristol Police Union and Stephen Auto Mall Center. Very exciting. And then our gold sponsors, Abacus, Bristol Housing Authority, the City of Bristol, D'Amato, Thomason Savings Bank, and Wheeler Clinic. All of our other very generous sponsors are listed in your program book and your ad book. So I hope you all had the chance already to walk the red carpet when you registered, yeah? Yeah. If you did not, I'll join you during dinner, because I don't think I've been on it except once. So I like to have my picture taken. So the theme of tonight's event is Lights, Camera, Action. Let's Talk United. We are filming live tonight. That camera's actually going. In a few weeks, you'll be able to watch the show on Nutmeg television. And if you don't have cable, you can go to the website and watch it there. And we're pleased tonight to welcome back Gina Doolittle as our hostess. If you've been to our event in the past, you know she does a fabulous job. Gina has been a performer and a volunteer her entire life. Her bio is in the program book. And something kind of cool I think is kind of cool. In a few short weeks, she'll be performing, and I don't even know which number of her OM shows it will be. It's been a lot. But this one, she's performing for the first time with her daughter and her granddaughter. I know it's not the first time that's happened, but I think that's pretty uncommon. Very cool. So Gina joined our board about 6 years ago and is currently our secretary. And so speaking of our board of directors, all of you nonprofits know that we can't do our work without our boards of directors, and we are incredibly blessed to have such a compassionate and dedicated group of board members. Our board chair is not here tonight. Brian Ritchie is headed to the end zone of tax season, so he's not here, but most of the rest of our board is here, so please stand, board members. I know you're sprinkled throughout the room. Don't be shy, stand up. So Jean is going to interview each of our awardees tonight, and they'll get to talk to her in an informal way, telling about why they live united and how they live united. And you, our audience, get to participate. So you get to watch. So we'll have, like I said, a few short videos highlighting things, and we're going to start with one tonight. We're going to start with one in just a minute. In the middle of your table, you'll see some note cards. We want to know what you think it means to live united. If each of you could take a moment to fill out that card. We're also curious how you perceive the issues in our community. Our board and our staff will collect those, that data and work with that. Just to, so if you could all take a moment and do that. Raffle tickets. I'm going to do another push for raffle tickets. Did everyone see the amazing raffle baskets and awards prizes out there? If you have not purchased raffle tickets, some of our, Whit needs to buy some. He's in the corner, and he has lots of money. He told me he brought lots of money tonight. Sorry, Jerry. Anyway, we will be continuing to sell them, so please purchase. Tonight's dinner is buffet style, and our wonderful staff from the DoubleTree will direct you out to the food, so when it's your turn to go to the buffet. In the meantime, before you go to the buffet, please enjoy our first spotlight video.
Our program is called the Family Financial Capability Services. It is actually an expansion of a pre-existing HRA program called the Foundations for Financial Independence. And the main core of the program is to provide holistic services to families and young adults to help them improve their financial stability and hopefully ultimately build and obtain assets.
My experience with the Financial Capabilities Program at HRA began about 9 years ago after my husband passed away. I needed to figure out how to pay all the bills with a very limited income on disability. That's where it started.
All participants that attend through there can also go on one-on-one financial coaching, which is really the meats and bones of what we really do with the clients.
Oh, the impact has been tremendous. Not only you have to learn where to figure out what is important to you. Where is your priority? They can give you guidance options, but in reality, the decision is yours.
Ladies and gentlemen, please welcome Gina Doolittle.
Good evening and welcome to Let's Talk United. Now that you've all enjoyed a delicious dinner, I hope you're ready to be entertained and informed. I'm sure you've all taken those blue cards you found on the table and answered those two questions. What does the United Way mean to me? And what is the most critical need in my community? If you haven't done that, please do that throughout the course of the program. And I'm going to share just a little bit with you about what the United Way means to me. The diversity of programs is actually what brought me into the United Way over 25 years ago. And I love that the United Way touches education, income, and health, and that it touches young children through our senior citizens. What keeps me involved is the transparency of the programs. I truly love knowing where my donations go and seeing my donations being used to improve the lives of the people in our communities. Your presence here tonight shows that you care about the United Way of West Central Connecticut, and we do appreciate that. So now let's get on with the show. Our first award this evening is the Change Maker Award. When you look for an organization in West Central Connecticut that knows what it takes to live united, you need to look no further than For Goodness Sake. From an idea that started 6 short years ago, For Goodness Sake recently helped its 1,000th family furnish their homes. These are families that were in shelters or living in unsafe environments. There are over 100 volunteers and more than 40 local social service partners that help clients get furniture, bedding, and all the accessories that make a home. The donations they receive also save about 67,000 pounds of waste from our landfills. That's pretty incredible. Accepting the award on behalf of For Goodness Sake is Kendra Morales. Welcome, Kendra.
Thank you.
For Goodness Sake has come so far from your original dream. How does it feel to be representing For Goodness Sake on the stage tonight?
How do you even answer that question? It's unbelievable. When you set out to do something like this, it's not really what you imagine. You're kind of one foot in front of the other. How do we get this family into my garage? How do I get more exposure out in the agencies around us? How do I get more people donating furniture? And how do I get volunteers to help me drive the truck besides me every weekend? Thank you, Scott Rosado. So to be honored by an organization like the United Way just really gives us, just thank you. Just thank you.
You've helped hundreds, well, actually 1,000 now, people furnish their homes after having nothing. Is there one particular family or story that stands out in your mind?
You know, I've noodled this one for a while, and it's a difficult question because we've helped and worked with so many families. And I sat down with my volunteers, my core team, which they're right over here at this table. Thank you so much, you guys. You guys are everything, really. But I decided on a family. It was, we had an inquiry from DCF, and DCF is usually like, we get the call and we have to have them in within 72 hours because there's a home check happening. And so we got a call from DCF, and a father was being released from incarceration. He had lost his wife, the mother of his 5 children, from an opioid addiction. He also had opioid addiction issues. He had gone through treatment. He had, through part of his incarceration, he had gotten out. He'd been released, and the edict was, you need to provide beds for all of the kids, and they need to all have their own space. So they came in, I think it was within 3 days. They came in, they shopped, and I was actually driving the truck that day. No thanks to Scott Rosado. And we were able to deliver it to them. And it was one of those times where it was the end of the day. The volunteers had been there for a long day. We had, I think, a car full of people behind us, which is usually how we close on the long days. And so we were all able to take the furniture out. And I think what really stands out is the joy. All these kids have been separated. So for them to be able to reunite not only with their father but with their families, it's, that's why we do this. So.
Okay, so I already need Kleenex. For Goodness Sake relies completely on volunteers. What does it mean to you and your volunteers to live united?
We're coming up on our 6th year of existence, and so last year we actually started a consortium of furniture banks globally throughout really throughout the world. Canada has actually a couple of really high functioning ones to determine how these things are done, other than just a few volunteers in a truck and a couple of people. And what we found out is we're one of the few that operates only on volunteers. I mean, really in the minority of only volunteers. And at our size and at the scope, we're open Saturdays and Sundays. Our average of families that we help now a weekend is 8 to 10. And that's just the families, not including all the kids and everything. So for us, the ability to, to continue to scale at that level. And then we also do a lot of work with partner organizations. So for us, Working United isn't only just our mission to work with those that are coming out of homelessness or crisis or domestic violence or DCF or mental health, but we also, it's important for us to create, to continue the community of giving that we have been so, just received so well in. I mean, we started in Bristol, again, right under 6 years ago, and one of my first cold calls was knocking on Jerry Beck's door. I always tell this story, and I'm like, Jerry, I don't know what Main Street Community Foundation does, but I think you have money. And we need some help, Jerry. She said, go to Tom Morrow at BCO. And then hit up Parent and Child. And she gave me this whole long list, but that's the community that we're in. That's part of United Way, is all of these partner organizations that are fearlessly working together in order to create a solution rather than just point solutions. And we work with the food pantries, and we work with Bristol Blues. I remember we helped them get into their situation. And St. Vincent de Paul, we gave them 7 beds when they didn't have any beds. And so for us, it's as important to partner with the families that we're working with, as well as the other partner organizations and agencies in the area.
That's amazing. Do you have any last thoughts you'd like to share with our audience tonight?
Well, now that you ask. Thank you. I see so many faces out here that I've seen over and over again at these functions. And this doesn't work with just 1 or 2 or 5 or 10. You know, we are being conservative when we say over 100. We actually have close to 200 volunteers that have worked with us. And I see so many faces out here of people that have lifted furniture. I see you, Lindsay. And Coops that's there almost every weekend. So many people are just there giving up their weekends and their time to help just for the sake of helping. And that's how we got our name, for goodness sake. I was driving down the highway, and it was one of those like shower moments where you're like, oh, you know, what am I going to do? What am I going to call this thing? Is this even a thing? It's still in my garage. I got to get it out. Snow's coming. I mean, it's, you know, being practical. Why are we doing this? And it's just for goodness sake. It's for the sake of people helping because they can help other people. And so I just would say continue to do that. Continue to reach out because you can, because we're so abundantly blessed here in this room and in this community. And if you have the opportunity to give, do that. And continue to do that. And that inspires other people to give, which is why we continue to do what we're doing every weekend. And so thank you, really. Just thank you.
Inspirational leader. I can see why everyone calls her an inspirational leader. Kendra, thank you so much. And to all of your volunteers, everyone in this room that has helped volunteer or that after this impassioned interview will volunteer, thank you. Wait, hold on. We have something for you. We have a photo? Okay. There she is. Thank you. Our next award is Stock Our Shelters, which is being honored with our Collaborative Excellence Award. This award is the collective impact of a special collaboration in our community. The recipient of this award demonstrates exemplary partnership and collaboration. The 2018 election brought out the best in Bristol's voters as they donated money and non-perishable food items at the polls. The initial goal was to raise enough money to open the St. Vincent de Paul shelter for the winter overflow. However, there was more collected than anyone could have ever imagined. And this was no small effort and took the coordination of many partners, including the mayor's office, several city departments, the post office, Girl Scout troops, PTOs, PTAs, high school students, and the United Way. Accepting the Collaborative Excellence Award on behalf of Stock Our Shelters is City of Bristol's Mayor, Ellen Zappo Sassoon.
Why are you switching sides?
Because you came up on that side, making it easy for you. And that way I can look at this side of the room for a little while. Welcome, Mayor. What an amazing story, truly an amazing story. I remember hearing about this initiative when we were at a board meeting for the United Way. And when we had our next meeting and Donna shared with us what actually happened that day, we were all just speechless. We could not believe how this all started. So how did this collaboration begin?
Actually, the collaboration began because the City of Bristol collaborates on a lot of different fronts. And the Bristol Cares Committee, many members are actually here today, is what I like to call our social safety net. We bring together volunteers from a lot of our social service providers every month to share resources, to talk about ideas, and talk about challenges. And it was at that meeting where St. Vincent de Paul told us that they were struggling with the money that they needed in order to do the overflow. And for those that are familiar, you've probably seen the press releases. If there is a cold weather protocol, shelters are allowed to take extra bodies. But if they don't have the room and they don't have the funds for the monitors, then those people are turned away, or there's a entire process that happens to try to get them elsewhere. So we were concerned as a community that obviously the worst case scenario is people are left outside on those nights. And so from that, some of our staff, notably Sarah Larson from the Parks Department, who actually was at that meeting, had this idea, and immediately many of the people within City Hall came forward. Lindsay Rivers, who's also here from the Public Works Department, and Kathy Savino from my office, who absolutely does not make enough money, if any of you have been in our office lately. We decided that we could put something together within a couple of weeks and use that election day as a focal point. We knew immediately that we needed a fiduciary, so we called Donna, and she said, no problem. We knew we needed bodies, so we got the Bristol Central Interact involved. We had Girl Scouts monitoring the booths. We had PTAs that volunteered that were already there doing their bake sales. And on the day of, it became so overwhelming that morning that Sarah, Lindsay, and a few others, we had to launch into emergency mode because we couldn't collect fast enough. And that's when I had to wake up the Bristol Eastern football team. That didn't go over very well. But we needed the bodies, and so they responded as well. So at the end of the day, it was great. We had representation from all the high schools, from all age groups. We had older people volunteering. I know at one point, Councilman Kelly had to leave work, and oh God, his boss is here. Oh, okay. And because we had a situation at Chippens Hill, so it was really a very collaborative effort from the beginning of the idea, from Sarah wanting to implement something and everybody else working together.
Amazing. I understand that the Stock Our Shelters initiative raised over $5,000 more than needed to open that winter overflow shelter at St. Vincent de Paul. In addition to money, people donated a significant amount of food. So let's watch this brief video of some of the other nonprofit organizations that benefited from that day.
The Stock Our Shelters initiative was wonderful for us. The Agape House works as 100% donation and 100% volunteer. There was a change in some of the services offered to the people experiencing homeless and in need in the city of Bristol, and we were worried on how we were going to go ahead and keep up.
Stock Our Shelters was so effective, not only for Bryan's Angels, but the whole community. Everyone came together, everyone helped. I had to get extra people in for a day or two to help get our things distributed properly.
The Stock Our Shelter that happened last November really helped the Salvation Army with our food pantry, and also our November, our Thanksgiving and Christmas distribution when it comes to food.
So the Stock Our Shelter event is a wonderful community outreach program that benefits pretty much everyone in Bristol. And it is an easy way for folks to be able to give. We have received just so much canned goods and donations that really benefit our clients here at Meals for Neighbors at Zion Lutheran Church. So we're very grateful to be able to receive and to share.
Storage is always at a premium. So one of the things we were concerned about was how to go ahead and utilize everything, have things in dated order, and use it to our best advantage. So we're able to buy some rack shelving and just get everything sorted. And again, it was a blessing.
Stock Our Shelters gave us a significant supply of cleaning products, pop-top cans, which we give to the homeless. We do soups, ravioli, and snacks that we give out at the end of the day to get people through.
We were able to give more food this year than we have in years past or ever had because of all the food that was given.
The Stock Our Shelter program was, I believe, as a recipient of the program, a phenomenal success, and we've been very grateful to be on the receiving end and on the sharing end as well. And I hope it's something that we can continue to do. Bristol is a very strong community of generosity, and so I hope it will continue.
But it was just an amazing group effort by Bristol, which is not unusual for Bristol in my experience.
The Stock Our Shelters initiative came absolutely at the perfect timing. We love the community of Bristol, and the outpouring was amazing.
So it was really a huge blessing, and thank the community for that support.
Mayor, why do you think this particular initiative was so successful?
Well, I think that people recognize when there's challenges in a community, homelessness, people that fall on difficult economic times or are having some type of struggle, personal, professional, or otherwise, that there's a very short degree of separation between any of us and those people. And I know that I've heard, people say to me, oh, there's panhandlers. Well, there are panhandlers, and some of them probably are not legitimate, and we've strengthened our ordinance to address that, but some of them probably are. And I know that probably many people in this room share that sense of helplessness as you see or approach an intersection or see someone and you question, is this a real need? Is there a community need that is not being addressed? Can I help that person, or how can I help that person? And I think that this coalesced, so people had a focal point. They had an opportunity to know that on election day, they could present, no matter what their socioeconomic situation, whether it was $1, whether it was a canned good, or whether it was more, or understand that there are organizations like Brian's Angels and St. Vincent de Paul and the others that could use a check. And we did receive checks as well. So I think it was just one of those situations where it allowed participation at every level, so everybody was able to participate.
Amazing. Did you hear any feedback from the community after the event? And what do you think Bristol will repeat this at the next election?
We haven't really talked about it. I think that there are varying degrees of need, and I think that if something could be replicated in order to benefit the community, I think we would definitely take it under advisement. But I think that, I think the beauty of what happened is that really happened within a 2-week period with a bunch of committed individuals and others who said, what do you need? Whether it was the postmaster or our custodian staff who, carted all kinds of things around for us that week leading up to it. And honestly, the role of the media was critical. I think that people heard the message. It was on TV, it was in the newspapers, and I think thanks to them, people were well equipped to come that day. And it could definitely be a model that is adopted elsewhere. I did get feedback from a lot of colleagues across the state inquiring as to whether this is something that might be something that their community could do. So hopefully there are ripple effects.
That would be amazing to see that as a model for the rest of the state or even farther out into the country. So I do have a proclamation to read for you. I need to pick it up under here. So everyone can see this. And I will read it. I need my glasses. This is what happens when you get old. State of Connecticut General Assembly official citation introduced by Representative Whit Betts, 78th District, Representative Christopher Ziogas, 79th District, Representative John Piscopo, 76th District, Senator Derek Slapp, 5th District, Representative Cara Pavlak D'Amato, 77th District, Representative William Pettit Jr., MD, 22nd District, Senator Henry Martin, 31st District. Be it hereby known to all, the Connecticut General Assembly hereby offers its sincerest congratulations to Stock Our Shelters in recognition of your receiving the 2019 United Way of West Central Connecticut Collaborative Excellence Award. We thank you for your tireless commitment and dedication to the community and commend you on your distinguished service. Congratulations on this well-deserved honor. The entire membership extends its very best wishes on this memorable occasion and expresses the hope for continued success, given this 11th day of April 2019 at the state capitol, Hartford, Connecticut. Do you have any last words you'd like to share with our audience this evening?
Well, I think that people really do want to feel good about where they live and work. And I think that that is directly correlated to the type of community that we are. And I just want to take a minute, because as much as I'm sitting here representing the city, that this is not about me. It's about the great team that we have in place. So first, I'd like to ask all of the city employees that are here today to just stand and be recognized, because this did disrupt City Hall pretty much for that first week. And I would like to just ask all of those who spend some time each month with us at the Bristol Cares Committee to stand up as well, because they're a pipeline to know what our needs are and how to address them from a community impact. Thank you.
Thank you, Mayor, and all of the individuals who helped make Stock Our Shelters such a success. Thank you. Our next award is the Rising Star Award, which recognizes an individual, company, or community collaboration that demonstrates accelerating impact in the community. The winner of the Rising Star Award is Productions for Change. Productions for Change is the newest endeavor of Tom and Tony Mazzarella of Maz Media. They know that video is the most effective way to reach an audience. Have you noticed our fabulous videos? And they want to help nonprofit organizations develop and implement a video marketing strategy. Do you know that 90% of information transmitted to the brain is visual? And visuals are processed 60,000 times faster than the brain can process text. Accepting the Rising Star Award on behalf of Productions for Change is Tony Mazzarella. Your production company, Maz Media, is already so involved in the community and so busy. So what prompted you to expand and create Productions for Change?
That's a good question. We've been working with a lot of charities and nonprofits for a long time. And, you know, it's interesting that there are so many people out there doing great things. And I was in a meeting one time, and I met some people who were starting up new charities and new nonprofits, and you know, started talking to them about how they're going to get their word out there. How do you get the message out there? And you know, they had some of the old traditional ideas of how to do it. And so I started seeing the need. Tom and I started seeing the need that, you know, we can't produce videos for everybody all the time. You know, it's so our idea was that. We would go out to the community and try to teach people how to use video, how they can do it themselves. You know, they have the technology. Mm-hmm. You know, all you need to start with is a video camera or a cell phone. And there's a lot of different strategies out there to get your message across on social media and other platforms. And you know, social media now is taking over our world. I mean, you know, I know we watch television at night, and tell me if this is true for everybody. My wife's sitting there answering emails or texting, or while there's a commercial on, or while there's a television show on. So really, in our world today, our attention spans are very short, and we're competing with all the noise out there for attention. So how do these small nonprofits, how do these small charities, even larger ones, how do you get your message out there? And we always felt that video was the best way, and now you have a platform. I mean, the internet has really become a video platform to be out there and getting your message out there, not just like in this place, but get it out to the community. How many people don't know what's really happening out there? I mean, I was surprised to know that I live in Southington. There were several charities in our town I never even knew existed, and they were there for 30 years. So, you know, and I'm pretty involved in the community, but you know, there's so many people working behind the scenes, and they don't get noticed. But now there's a way to get your message out there. So that's why we started it.
Can you tell us a little bit more about how you help organizations market themselves through video?
Yeah, when we talk to people, like we've done some training, we've gone out and talked to different people how they can use video, and really they always start like, what are we going to talk about? What are we going to do a video on? And in reality, it's a very simple strategy. We call it they ask, you answer. People always have questions about what you're doing, how you're doing it. So we come up with questions, and we interview people. They give us the answers, and we edit it to make it make sense, so we can tell a story in a short bit of time. You know, and there's so many great stories out there. You know, that you know they're intriguing, they're engaging, and the reaction we get from people. I mean, if you put a post on Facebook, we put several posts up for one organization, and one day they had 5,000, 6,000 views. People they wouldn't have hit before or reached before. So.
Well, before we move on, let's watch a brief video about Productions for Change.
So we received a grant from the United Way to help fund this video through Productions for Change, and it is huge for us because we do not have a marketing budget. We don't have extra funds just laying around to use to produce things like this. So with the support from the United Way and the support of Productions for Change, we're going to have a quality video out there that's going to really demonstrate what an awesome place we are. We are planning to use this video on our website, on Facebook. We're thinking about starting a YouTube channel. I think video is the new way of marketing. So if nonprofits aren't doing video, they aren't as current as everybody else is out there in the market. And as a restaurant, we're competing with all sorts of places in the community. So I need to be using that medium so that I can reach as many people as possible. I would recommend any nonprofit in the local area to apply for a grant like this because it's really the best way to utilize your resources. We've got the place, we've got the people, but we don't have the funds to do the production, nor do we have the production experience. So it's really important to get that expertise when we have such great content.
Tony, you and your brother Tom work tirelessly in your communities volunteering. What does it mean to you to live united?
What it means to me to live united, you know, it's interesting because, you know, I think everybody impacts everybody else in the community. And I think it's important that when you lend your abilities, your talents, your skills to help other people, that's what living united means. And it's rewarding and it's fun. You know, it's fun working with other people and actually getting results for them. That's the fun part. So that's it.
Pretty incredible. Well, Tom's working very hard back there for us tonight. But Tom, before we move on, I know you must have a few words for us.
I do. I just wanted to say, Tony, you did a great job up there. I appreciate that. I just wanted to say thank you to everybody who came this evening. And for all those people that really do put a lot of time and energy into the nonprofit world and the organizations here in town, it really shows what Bristol is and how we come together as a family, really, in the city of Bristol. And I think it's just wonderful. So my thought to leave to everybody tonight is if you have the opportunity to give. And United Way is the way to do it because they distribute that money to all the different organizations in the community. Thank you very much, everyone.
Thanks, Tom. So we have a little award for you on behalf of the United Way.
Thank you very much.
Thank you. Our next award, United Way of West Central Connecticut's 2019 Youth Live United Award. This one is very exciting because, as I said at the beginning, one of the things that I love about the United Way is the fact that we touch young children through senior citizens, and we give children that are middle school and high school such great opportunities to volunteer. They don't have to wait until they grow up. They start volunteering as young people and continue that as a way of life. This award recognizes middle school and high school students in each of our 4 communities that the United Way of West Central Connecticut serves. These students have a connection to the United Way and have given back to their community through volunteerism. The 2019 sponsors of the United Way of West Central Connecticut's Youth Live United Award are Barnes Group and Webster Bank. Thank you so much for your support of United Way and of our community's youth. One youth from Bristol, Burlington, Plainville, and Plymouth were selected to win their community's 2019 Youth Live United Award. Let's watch this video of our 4 awardees.
Kids in the Middle is a volunteer-based program for the youths in middle school in 6th, 7th, and 8th grade at Chippens Hill in West Bristol.
I've had a lot of fun doing Kids in the Middle this year because it's basically a way to give back to the community.
Just within the United Way, I've volunteered at the Reverse Children's Parade, Salvation Army Kettle Drive, charity cycling. For the past 3 years, including this year, we've planned a senior citizen prom, which is really fun.
I love to volunteer naturally, so I've joined many different organizations throughout high school to really exercise that passion.
When I found out that I won this award, I was not expecting it. I was so happy, and I'm so glad that I won this.
Being a recipient of this award is really impactful to me. It's really great to be recognized of something that I love to do. It's just something small here and there that I do, and it really shows that it makes a big difference to the community, and have other people recognize that is really something that's nice.
I feel grateful and pleased that Ms. Camposano nominated me for this award, and I'm just so excited.
United Way means to me making Bristol and the community a better place and helping people in our community.
I'm in a lot of clubs in my school, and to get recognition for that is really exciting. And I think it's really important to be an advocate at a young age for stuff you believe in, so I feel like I've done that, and this award really speaks to that. I love United Way.
I think you can all agree there's some pretty incredible kids in our communities. So I'm going to bring them to the stage, but would you please hold your applause till we have all 4 of them up here. From Bristol, Caden Sigmund. From Burlington, Sam Dorman. From Plainville, Dale Nera. And from Plymouth, Isabella Christiana. And Donna, would you come up to help me hand out these awards? Go ahead, go straight across. So I hope all 4 of you were listening when I read that proclamation to the mayor of Bristol, because you all got a proclamation as well. It says the same thing, so I'm not going to read it again 4 times because nobody needs that. But very exciting. You know, you and the mayor, that's pretty cool. So Donna is going to also give you a medal. And one of the United Way staff, Kimberly, made these amazing cookies that say Live United on the little t-shirts. Aren't they adorable? You're each getting one of those as well. Okay, those are Isabella. You're welcome. And Caden. And Sam and Dale, there's yours. Thank you. Thank you so much. Thank you, Donna. The Spirit of Caring Award. This award is presented each year to an outstanding volunteer from United Way who has demonstrated a capacity to care for people within the community through unequaled spirit of volunteerism. Before we highlight this year's award winner, can we have all past Spirit of Caring Award winners that are in the room please stand? And I know there's several of you, so don't make me call you out. Thank you. No one defines the spirit of caring more than Susan Sadecki. Her genuine interest to help others is felt wherever she goes. She combines her passion for philanthropy and community collaboration with her business experience in both the for-profit and nonprofit sectors. She has been an executive program director and consultant in philanthropic healthcare and human service field for over 30 years. In her 11 years as president and CEO of the Main Street Community Foundation, Susan has truly led by example. Her genuine efforts, along with her spirit and passion for improving the lives of individuals and organizations throughout the community, has helped shape many programs throughout Bristol. Let's bring her to the stage to find out how Susan lives united. Welcome. Please have a seat. Okay. Susan, I really am truly so impressed with you. How do you manage your time running the Main Street Community Foundation and also volunteering for so many other organizations?
Well, I have a really good calendar. I have tremendous family, friends, and an incredible administrative assistant named Julie, who gets me out of the office when I have to be out to say, you need to be here, you need to be there, you need to be at this organization. So I think, you know, it's something that I love to do, so people know I'm sort of reactive to things, and if it's something that's going to involve making someone else's life better, I'm going to take care of it.
That's amazing. You've collaborated with the United Way for many, many years, and why is a strong collaboration with the United Way very important to you?
Well, I do believe a strong collaboration with the United Way is essential, especially in the communities that we both serve. So we cross over in these 4 communities, and together, obviously, we can do so much more when we leverage our funding, leverage our leadership, leverage our convening, and really work closely together. You know, I really admire Donna. I love working with her. We have the same values and wishes for our community. We want to raise the quality of life in our community. We may do it a little differently, but the things that we do together, we can accomplish the goals that we want to accomplish.
2 amazing women, that's for sure. What has been your most memorable experience over the years working with the United Way?
Oh gosh. So there have been many. I think back to the early days of the Community Foundation when we worked with the United Way to bring together nonprofits to really inform them about how they can connect with their legislators. We brought in some current legislators, some retired legislators, and really worked with them on the importance of showing off their organizations and the importance of letting them know what was important to them. But I think, by far, my favorite collaboration to date has been the Walsh Summer Work Experience Program. You know, we're very blessed at the Community Foundation to work with donors who unselfishly give to and through the Community Foundation. So we have this incredible family, Tim and Mary Walsh, who established a donor-advised fund at the Community Foundation. We make a grant from that fund. We have been making a grant from that fund for a few years now. And we've been able to really evolve that work experience program so that those individuals who are fortunate enough to get into the programs, we only have so many slots every year, really get not only a work experience, but they get to work on their emotional intelligence and their career exploration. You know, when you're 16 years old, do you really know what you want to do for the rest of your life? No, we don't know what we want to do. But this program gives these students the opportunity to really kind of do some insightful look at themselves. And I need some water, if anybody has any, because I'm clicking. Sudafed, dry towel. It's good for the sinuses, but dry towel.
Look at her, always giving.
Thank you, Kendra. Love you. Thank you. So I think that's been, like, as far as a collaboration, because we're not just a grant maker at the Community Foundation, and it goes well beyond my role at the Community Foundation. I generally like these types of programs. I think they're important. And so Donna and I have spent hours, I think, collaborating on how we can make that program better every year, how we can seek out other funding sources so that program, should that donor not be able to fund that program in the future, how are we going to keep that going? It is particular right now to the city of Bristol. We would love to expand it into the other 3 communities. But I think that's been my favorite collaboration, and it's really about the work, it's about working with the people. And again, I'm shouting out to you again, Donna. It's a pleasure to work with you.
That's actually a really nice segue into my next question, because you're talking about youth. What advice would you give to youth just starting out in their careers about volunteering?
Well, I think, you know, when you start volunteering, whether it's through as a young child, whether you're doing it, you know, with your parents or another family member or friends, I think the opportunity to give back to the community in whatever way that is, you're going to get a lot more from it than that organization's going to gain from your talent and your treasure. You just are. And I guess my advice, especially as you get older and you move into high school and you move into whatever that next step is after high school, think about what you're passionate about. What do you want to change in the world? You don't have to be Bill Gates, but what do you want to change in the world? Is environmental conservation important to you? Is stocking a food pantry important to you? Is starting a diaper bank important to you? Find an organization that aligns with your passion and do that. And as a young individual moving into the workforce, you are going to be the talent that the local employers are going to want to hire, because they want to hire those individuals who aren't just there for the job, but they bring something else to the organization to make that company a better company because they care about their community.
Absolutely, absolutely. Thank you. Any final words for our audience this evening?
I'm really nervous. So those of you who know me know that I can talk and talk and talk about the Main Street Community Foundation. So call me up and I'll talk to you about it. I'm really nervous up here today, so I'm sorry that I was clicking earlier. But I guess what I would just like to say is the Spirit of Caring Award is amazing. And, you know, caring, I think, is just part of the fabric of who we are as people who care about your communities. But it does start with your roots, right? So I have an amazing set of parents who are here tonight, Dottie and Ray. I have to go in order of the roots, right? So that I have an amazing sister, Kathy, who's here today. I have an amazing husband, Ron. My daughter, Jenna, who is our biggest pride and joy, is studying really hard for an accounting exam right now. Couldn't be here. She's in Rhode Island, and if she could have been here, she would have. So she's FaceTiming right now. So I love you, Jenna, and I love you, Ron. My brother-in-law, Chris, you're a brother to me. And then along with my husband came a terrific father-in-law, Bill, my mother-in-law, Joni, and really special to me here this evening that I want to thank, who's really taught me the meaning of caring, because she by far is the most caring person I have in my life. My best friend from elementary school, Karen Verisconi. So when I think about the Spirit of Caring Award, it's my family, it's my Main Street family, and I see all of you back there. We've got Kate and Rhonda and Mindy and Julie. Where's Sam? Hi, Sam. You know, my Main Street family, current staff, past staff. We've got Jerry, we've got founders, we've got directors. This whole community, I look around this room, and you have taught me how to care. Right? You've taught me how to care. So this award is for all of you. It's because you have taught me the meaning of caring. So I think that's all I have to say. I'm done. Because people want to go home.
Well, I have one other thing that was a little bit of a surprise to me, because I didn't realize, Whit, that you had gotten proclamations for all of our award winners. As I pulled out the kids' proclamations, I found them. So I will see the other award winners in a moment. So Susan, that one is for you.
Thank you.
And we also have this beautiful crystal statue for you. I think we need to take a little picture here.
Okay.
And one more thing before we let you go. I'll let you take that. We have one little surprise for you. If you take a look over at that screen over there.
Hi, Mom. I just wanted to send you a huge congratulations all the way from Rhode Island. As much as I would like to be there celebrating with you, unfortunately, calculating the unit guard cost of commuters is getting in the way. I just wanted to say that the entire community is so lucky to have you, that I'm even luckier because you're my mom. You are kind, you are caring, you are supportive, you are everything that a daughter could ever ask for and so much more. I'm so proud of the efforts that you put into your work and everything that you've done to really make the community shine and really be the best role model ever. I love you so much and enjoy the rest of your night celebrating you and all that you've done to make this community.
That's why we saved it for last. Thank you. Okay, that's why we saved it for last, because we didn't want her crying, but here I'm crying. Of course, I cry at Hallmark commercials, Susan. So.
Thank you.
Ladies and gentlemen, please check out our last highlight video while I clean up my tears, showing how the United Way is impacting the lives of children at risk.
The Be Homeful Project is a project through the Connecticut Coalition to End Homelessness.
It's essentially a fund for emergency assistance to divert families who are at the front door of shelter, effectively ending their homelessness before it begins.
Families call 211 because they have no place to go, or they're on the brink of having no place to go, looking for emergency shelter services. And when I can offer them another option and see that stress just melt off their shoulders, it's amazing.
They took a lot off of me, because when I got there, I was crying. I probably cried 3 days before I even got there. And the ladies that helped me was amazing. They worked together as a team. They figured out some things, gave me some steps to follow. I followed those steps, and great outcome.
Since the project began in 2015, kept about 400 families from shelter, including about 800 children. And then last year alone, we raised enough to donate gifts for 1,000 children in shelter and keep about 100 families, and that was just over the course of the project.
Had some difficult times, and then I'm like, where am I going to get this money? And United Way was able to fund that money, and once again, I'm grateful for them also.
Our last guest of the evening is Donna Osuch, President and CPO of the United Way of West Central Connecticut. Yes. Donna, thank you once again for inviting me to host this evening's event. It was so much fun. I laughed, I cried, I learned a little bit, but it really has been great. And thank you for all of you in the room that have been here. I know you have some people from behind the scenes that you want to thank, so this is your opportunity.
Absolutely, thank you. So Gina, I want to thank our Community Builders Reception Committee. I'm going to have to look at my notes because I don't want to forget anyone, but please stand. This would not have happened without the amazing committee. So Rachel Beckwith, Jill Casey, you, Gina, Donna Grablin, Tom Mazzarella, Mike Rivers, I'm trying to figure where everyone's sitting, Trish Tomlinson, and David Van Allen. Everyone clap for them. So isn't our stage fabulous? This was all donated by Pier 1 Imports. Thank you, Rachel, staging our stage. And thank you to the Doubletree for hosting tonight. They did a fabulous job as always, didn't they?
Donna, tell me a little bit, I know we've heard from Tom, but tell me from your perspective a little bit about what he does for the United Way. I know he is the creative genius behind tonight's production.
He is more than that. He is, so yeah, we meet, he helps us figure out the theme, helps us create those amazing videos, even the one from Jenna Sadecki sent this afternoon, like just amazing. And he keeps me on task. I was not easy to work with this year, so thank you. Yeah, it's true, it's true. He helps us make this look professional and polished. We would not look as good without Tom. Thank you, Tom.
Can you tell me about some of the supporters who made tonight's event possible?
Sure. So Garrett Printing for the program books, thank you to them. All of our sponsors who donated goods or services. Jane Eugene Florist in Terryville did the flowers for the boutonnieres and corsages. Our amazing United Way staff. Isn't that sad that I have to turn my folder over for my staff? But doing an event like this, those of you who have done it, you know, it really pulls you together, or you want to get a divorce when it's over. But this really did pull us together, because I have new staff this year, and some of them are very new. So please stand, Kimberly Hernandez, Donna Kozier, Nancy McCluskey, and you met Judy Ann Lozier, but she literally started like 5 weeks ago and helped with this. And again, our sponsors, I remembered it this time. So we really couldn't do a night like this without our very generous sponsors. So once again, a huge thank you to our premier sponsors, the Barnes Group and Webster Bank. To our platinum sponsors, the Bristol Police Union and D'Amato. Oh, sorry, Stephen Automall. Oh, sorry, Stephen Automall. Forgive me. I'm never going to do this. So, and our gold sponsors, Abacus, Bristol Housing Authority, the City of Bristol, D'Amato, Thomas and Savings Bank, and Wheeler Clinic. Thank you.
All right, Donna, this is your chance. Any last comments you have before we close out the 17th Annual Community Builders Reception?
Well, first, one more quick thank you. The young lady taking pictures tonight, Brittany, thank you for coming tonight and taking pictures. The interviews this evening were amazing. They were so inspirational. I loved them all. They were truly inspirational. So a huge congratulations to all of our award recipients. My personal congratulations to, for goodness sake, to the City of Bristol and the support with our Stock Our Shelters initiative, to Productions for Change and the Mazzarella brothers, to Susan Sadecki, and to our incredible youth for Living United. Thank you guys all so much.
Thank you, Donna.
Well, you make it look fun and easy, and I hope our guests all felt, I know you said you were nervous, but much easier than standing behind a podium, right? And so much more fun for all of us to appreciate what it takes to live united. So thank you for what you did.
You're welcome. We learn a lot with these interviews. I really enjoyed them myself. So, but before we say goodnight, please remember to fill out those cards. We really do want to gain some more information so we know what needs are out in the community. And we would like to recycle those name badges. So I know you don't want to take them home with you anyway. So please, there'll be volunteers at all the doors. If you can hand those over to them along with the cards as you leave. And now I would just ask you to please keep living united by giving, advocating, and volunteering. And good night.
And award winners come to the stage before you leave.
I didn't know they ended up doing them.